Okay, Halloween is not that far away. It's October 19th. It's coming up really, really quickly. And today, make sure you have a pen and pencil handy because you're going to want to write down a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about today. With us is our old pal, Sara Warren, and she's going to tell us about neat crafts that aren't expensive, aren't hard to do with your youngsters getting ready for trick-or-treat night. So that's my favorite night of the year.
Right.
All right, so first of all, we're going to talk about pumpkins.
We're going to talk pumpkins first. So pumpkins, Halloween, it all goes so well together. So I'm going to show you some great crafts that we can do around pumpkins. So the first thing is a super simple one, especially for little kids, and it's using half of an apple and some orange paint, and you're going to stamp pumpkin shapes like that. You want to give it a try?
I do.
Okay, grab that there, give it a stamp, and what you're going to do is you're going to stamp some pumpkin shapes, and then you're going to turn them into jack-o'-lanterns. So once you've let those dry, you're going to use some black paint, and you're going to paint faces on them. This is a great activity for kids, really simple, nice fun one, and one that they can get their hands on.
Okay, so half an apple, a little bit of paint from the store, and away you go, and
That's
do
it.
them that way.
Exactly, super, super simple. Okay,
and I did it too.
You did it, and you did a great job. Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you is one of my absolute favorite ones, and it's how to make a tie-dye looking pumpkin. So as you see, I put some gloves on because this gets a little bit messy. So I'm going to use nail polish, and I'm going to pour some nail polish into some water, just regular water and nail polish. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my little white pumpkin, and I'm going to just dip it in.
I'll say, so you put just various colors.
Various colors, any colors you have. Take your white pumpkin, give it a spin, and you end up with a really, really cool looking pumpkin.
And
super
they're all
simple.
individually.
All individual, all unique, and it's really great. Once it dries, it stays like that, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, so use the water as sort of the thing that spreads it around.
Exactly, the water is your base, and then use an old container because you might get some nail polish on it, and gloves because otherwise you're going to end up with nail polish on your hands.
Yep, okay, all right. And the pumpkins now.
The pumpkins, that's right. So this is my favorite way to decorate a pumpkin, and this is temporary tattoos. So I did it two different ways. This one is with a bunch of little tattoos, and the fun thing is these ones here glow in the dark, so they can also help to light up your street with your pumpkins. And these ones here, I used full sleeve tattoos. You can get these with any temporary tattoos, and you get a cool piece of art all the way down the side of your pumpkin. And you could even cut some slits and then have them glow through at night. And if you're gonna put a candle in a pumpkin, I'm gonna give you my top tip.
Okay.
Cut the bottom, not the top. So then you don't have to worry about the top of your pumpkin falling in and it getting messy. Cut the bottom, put your candle down, place your pumpkin on top of it.
I've never done that. In all the years I've done pumpkins, I have never cut the bottom.
gotta
I've never seen the bottom cut before.
You gotta try it this year and tell me how it goes.
Okay, so there you go. All kinds of neat ideas with pumpkins, and probably the neatest idea is cut the bottom of the pumpkin, take out all the insides, then put your candle in, and that's cool. A neat way to do things. Again, you try to learn something new every day, Sara, and you did that for us today. We will come back a little bit later on, and we're going to talk about witches and ghosts.
Witches and ghosts coming up next.
Okay, we'll see you in a few minutes. It's 3D marshmallows, kids. 3D marshmallows. Everybody loves marshmallows. We're talking Halloween here, getting ready for the big day, the spookiest day of the year. Sara Warren, our pal here, is back again to talk about neat crafts and cheaper crafts doing for kids. Now, I wanted to ask you before we get rolling any further, is all the tricks that you picked up and things you do, is it an expensive venture to find all these paints and all the other stuff?
Absolutely not. Everything I'm showing you today is really inexpensive and stuff that you can find easily. Grocery store, dollar store, if you want to go to a craft store, but nothing here is hard to get, which is great because you want to make sure that when your kids want to do something, you have it ready to go.
Okay, and these are things you can just have around the house. All right, let's get going. I hope you brought pen and pencil, folks, because we're getting into some neat crafts right now. All right, starting with the ghosts.
Okay, so these are ghosts. So what we're going to do, if you want to do that one, is we're going to stand these ghosts up.
Let me do this one.
And we're going to see them fill the room. So this is super simple. It's vinegar and baking soda with a balloon on top, and you end up with these cool inflating ghosts. It's really, really easy to make, stuff you have in your cupboard, and kids will get a total kick out of it, especially if they don't know what's going to happen.
So what is it again? It's
vinegar in the bottle, baking soda in the balloon. When you stand the balloon up, they mix together, and you get these cool inflating ghosts. Any balloon will work, but I thought that these ones were extra cute.
All right, marshmallows.
So marshmallow ghosts. So these are as simple as they look. They are marshmallows, a skewer, and just a little bit of frosting. And you can put some googly eyes on them if you want to. Kids can just put as many as they want, decorate them any way they want, and then they're a great snack.
So yeah, so
Super
it's
simple.
food coloring, so you can eat.
Absolutely. This is just a little bit of frosting, just black food coloring, and that's it. Super simple.
All right, something next door, much
Now
the same.
we're moving to the witches side of the table
Uh-huh.
with our witches hats. So all we have here is Oreos. You can pick any kind that you want, a little bit of icing, and a kiss on top. And you have a perfect little witch's hat, and it's a great treat.
Now, some of these you could give out on Halloween too, right? If you want to sort of make your own treats.
Yeah, I mean, if you're giving them to people that know you and that they're okay with getting food from you like this, absolutely. And if you're having a Halloween party with some kids over, they could even make them themselves and then enjoy them, which is extra fun.
Yep, and later on this morning we're going to talk about this monster party, right?
Yes,
So
we
that.
are.
All right, this is interesting, right?
So these
here.
are witches' hands. So what they are is we just put a bunch of stuff into a glove, added water, shook it up, and we froze them. So then what you can do is you can use warm water to try and get the things out of them, make the witches' hands disappear, use a spell. It's a great, easy one to make. And if you want to put food things inside of them, like gummy worms, you can put them in a punch bowl and have them as your ice.
That's cool. All right, okay, witch's brew here. Witch's
so
brew.
this is probably my favorite one. So we're gonna
All right.
make a witch's brew. So I've got a bunch of little things here that I just picked up at the dollar store. So we're gonna add some spiders and some eyeballs, and then we're gonna add a nice big spider. And then with some magic words, we're gonna see if we can activate our witch's brew. There we go.
And again, this is
Baking soda and vinegar, a bit of food coloring, and then some fun ingredients just to be able to do, you know, your eyes of newt and that kind of thing. And then you see the things bubble through it. Kids absolutely love this one as well, and it's super simple. I bought a cauldron at the dollar store, but you can use any bowl.
all right. I got to ask you about all these ideas. Where do they come from?
You know what? A lot of them are from other activities I've done before, and I use the same bases together. Just from trying different things and seeing what works. A lot of these ones, like witches' hats, people do variations of them everywhere, so you know they're a pretty common one. But if you want to actually figure out how to do these things, I have them all up on my website to make it nice and simple.
Okay, what's the website?
JuniorDetectiveAgency.com, and I have a blog post that's got every single thing I'm going to talk about today with the details of how to do it.
JuniorDetectiveAgency.com. Check
That's
that
right.
out. If you haven't been able to write all this down, we'll come back a little bit later on and we're going to talk more about crafts coming up here as we head towards Halloween. We're back in Oakville, and yes, you can do this at home. And we're with Sara Warren today talking about Halloween treats, Halloween crafts for young kids, not having to spend a lot of money, finding stuff in various places or around the house, and she's coming up with all kinds of neat ideas. So, all right, let's see what we've got on the go this time.
Okay, so starting down here, these are cookie cutters, and they're cookie cutters that you can press out. And this is some modeling clay. So what I've done is this will harden to be a shape, created some really
So you
cool
made those
things.
yourself?
Yep, made these with cookie cutters. They look great, they're a fun thing, especially if your kids want to give something out to their class, something that's kind of different. They can make these super easily with some modeling clay and cookie cutters.
All right.
Now here we have
Looks like
spiders.
Black Widow spiders.
That's exactly what it is.
Are
So
we
these
supposed to-
are little kid hands, and all you need to do is put paint on the palm of their hand and avoid the thumb, and then have them put their hand down flat. Then they can all add cobwebs around it, put googly eyes on it. A really, really fun activity, and it's nice and tactile to be able to, you know, make the handprints and create all these fun spiders.
But does it come off?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, this
it
isn't
comes
house
off.
paint, right?
This
You
is
don't
not-
take paint left over from the
I
bathroom.
wouldn't probably recommend that. This is good washable paint that your kids will love getting their hands into.
All right, and here's your batch now. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, so as you saw my bats at the beginning, so all these is a toilet paper roll painted black, some construction paper cut out to be wings, a little bit of pipe cleaner, and some googly eyes. And the super cool thing about these guys is, as you saw, they can hang upside down. So they're actually a craft you can play with as well, which is a lot of fun and super simple to make. You can use hot glue or you can use white glue, depending on if an adult is helping or if kids are doing it on their own.
People must love to come at your house, at Christmas, at Halloween, because they see things they're not going to see anywhere else.
Well, I try and come up with a few things that just make it fun for kids to come and actually do something, because I love getting kids busy making crafts and having fun.
And you can see these all on the website. and the website is
JuniorDetectiveAgency.com.
JuniorDetectiveAgency.com. All right, what else have we got here?
Okay, so here we have make your own crayons. So what you see here is like a candy mold, and I broke up old crayons, put them inside, put them in the oven, And what comes out are these cool things, and they still work. You still end up with crayons that actually work. It's a great way to use old crayons, and we made, of course, bugs, because what's creepier than bugs at Halloween? But you can do absolutely any shape.
The fly, the fly.
Exactly. So that's a super fun one, and it's a great way to make sure that kids actually use up the old crayons and to make a fun Halloween-themed craft.
All right, and the last one here.
Of course, because we do have to have dinner on Halloween as well. It's not all about candy.
That's right.
These
Well,
are,
that.
after trick-or-treating,
Okay.
before we need to eat dinner.
Right.
These are hot dog mummies. So all they are is a regular hot dog and the Pillsbury crescent roll pastry, sliced up, wrapped around it like a mummy, and some mustard for eyes.
Okay, so you got the whole ball of wax here, all the goodies, something to do, and a delicious dinner here for Halloween as well. We're going to come back. We have one more segment, and we're going to talk a bit about having a party, hosting a party.
We're going to have a monster party when we come back.
All right, we'll do that. We'll see you here with Sara Warren in Oakville. It's Halloween. Party like a monster. And we are with Sara Warren again today, one of our good pals who comes to us all the time at special occasions to give us ideas for kids' parties and kids' crafts that don't cost a lot, easy to do, and tons of fun. And again, cutting the pumpkin at the bottom is probably my takeaway in all of this morning.
It's the best tip.
So, all right, now a lot of people do have little parties for their kids at Halloween. Invite the neighborhood kids over. Some kids have their birthdays in around Halloween and probably want to have a theme for a little birthday party. So, what have you got for these folks?
Okay, so as you saw, my son and I created a book. It's Halloween, Party Like a Monster, because nobody parties quite like a monster, especially on Halloween.
Of course.
So I'm going to show you a Halloween-themed monster party.
Okay.
So the first thing we have here is a fun craft, which is using just a brown paper bag and creating monsters. So all you need to do with this is paint the bag, get some scissors and some glue, and cut out a face. You can make them any way you want, and then you end up with these absolutely awesome monsters and something to play with as well. You can get your hand inside, and you have a little mouth in there. You end up with these great monsters. Fun craft kids at any age can do. And of course, what party is complete without some snacks, of course.
Exactly.
So we have Monster Rice Krispies. So all these are is regular Rice Krispie squares, some frosting, sprinkles, some candy eyeballs, and you can design your own monster. This is a great activity for kids to do, especially if you are having a party, is that they can sit down and make them any way you want. Because there's really no rules with monsters, which is why we love them.
Exactly. Now, but just a lot of people are saying, well, where do I find these eyeballs and all that kind of stuff?
Grocery store. This is all from just the grocery store and your regular grocery shopping. You can get this stuff, no problem. Super easy to come by, not expensive, a great activity.
Okay, what's next?
This is a monster mix. So this is exactly what it looks like. It's everything in a bowl because they're monsters. They love to just eat and eat and eat. So we have candy eyeballs, candy brains, candy worms, as well as chips and pretzels. So it's a really fun kind of close your eye and see what you get snack. And kids absolutely love it because it is a little bit of everything in the bowl. Again, can't be easier to make. Whatever you have, put it together, and it's a monster mix.
All right, and the most intriguing part.
The last thing is what I'm calling monster blood, but what it actually is oobleck. And if you've never made oobleck before, all it is cornstarch and water mixed together with a bit of food coloring. Now the cool thing about oobleck is it performs differently depending on how you move. So if you move fast, it's almost like a solid, you dance on top, but as soon as you slow down, you sink into it and it becomes this really, really liquidy substance. So move fast and it's a solid, move slow and it's a liquid. Kids absolutely love playing with this because it has the absolutely coolest texture. It moves in a really interesting way. And it makes the absolute perfect monster blood.
Okay, a good finish up to the party. And again, heading towards Halloween, all the things that you've seen this morning. And if you've missed some of our segments, you can pick everything up on the website, which is
JuniorDetectiveAgency.com.
JuniorDetectiveAgency.com. Sara Warren, thank you as always for giving us just some great ideas. And this one heading towards Halloween. And of course, I guess we'll probably see you closer to Christmas too as well. But now, let's enjoy Halloween.
Thanks so much for having me.